All right, welcome back, homesteaders. Arizona Unplugged channel. So let's talk about it. I made a quick short video this morning asking, relatively speaking, how much land do you really need to grow enough food and raise enough livestock to feed your family? So we're going to talk about that. And in the meantime, I've got a project I'm doing for the wife real quick. It concerns this bucket, this lid, and stay up there. A drill with 2 spade bits, also called paddle bits. Guess what I'm going to do with this bucket doing this? Whoever gets the right guess gets a shout out, and I'll announce it at the end of this video. So let's get a drill in real quick. I'm going to put some bigger holes here on top. Alright. So how many acres do you really need? The common misconception is you need, 100 acres, 200 acres, a large piece of land to create a true homestead big enough to be able to feed your family. So the first question you got to ask yourself is, well, how big's the family? Because, of course, more mouths you have to feed, the more food you need to produce, the more space you need, right? Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put one more right here. Alright, 5 big holes on top. So, that being said, let's take my family as an example. Now, we've got 3 of us that live here full time, myself, my wife, and our little boy, William. By the way, he was super happy to get his hat back yesterday. So there's only 3 of us, so small family here, full-time, all the time. Now we do have other kids that come stay with us, 3 more teenagers, so that would make 6. The mother-in-law stays with us better part of the year, so 7. Let's just say 7. Family of 7. What are we going to need? Now let me give you a little bit of background on me. This is not our first homestead. We had, if you guys are from the Backcountry Preps channel that I started off with back in the 2014, 2015, you would have seen the homestead I had there, the little ranch outside of San Diego, way outside of San Diego, actually is just on the edge of San Diego County. There we had livestock. We had chickens, goats, sheep, pigs, rabbits at one time, cows, horses. We had all the animals, so that takes up a lot of space. We're not going to have large livestock here on this ranch. We're only going to do we're doing birds now, chickens and turkeys and ducks. We're going to do rabbits. We're going to do pigs, goat, and sheep, but only very minimal numbers. Just basically 1 or 2 slaughters a year per each species. So we don't need a whole bunch of room for just 1 or 2 animals, but we do need some room. We had our 800 square foot garden, greenhouse rather, and we had 2 orchards. They had a total of about, if I remember right, 40 or 50 different fruit trees. And all of that was on 8 acres. That was our San Diego County ranch, 8 acres. Here we have almost 50, so quite a bit more. So I went out and I measured, and I've never done this, I can't believe I haven't done this yet, the 2 different sections that we occupy here on this almost 50 acres of land. And I wrote it down here so I didn't forget. Just the living area, where this shop is, the solar generator power room thing, and our cabin. Just that area, this little area right here, is 0.07 acres. It was 75 feet by 40 feet. So that's the total area we occupy as far as structures, as far as buildings, our home, the shop, of course, everything I listed. 0.07 acres. So not even a half an acre, not even a quarter acre with all the buildings. And then I measured just the garden areas were 30,600 square feet, which is 0.7 acres. So almost 3/4 of an acre just for the two garden areas, the orchard area, and the animal areas, almost 3/4 of an acre. um, so all in, all contained with the gardens, the animals, the orchard, and our living structures, we are at, what did I write down here? 43,560 square feet, which is still under an acre. So all of our gardens, all of our animals, all of our orchards, and all of our living space, not including the firewood area and our parking areas, less than 1 acre, guys. Less than 1 acre. So the question I go back to is, how much land do you actually need in order to support your family? The question is, can I support 7 people with the gardens, the orchard, and the livestock area for 1 year? Honestly, I believe I can. Why? In this certain circumstance, in my situation, in my circumstance, most of the time we only have 3 people living here, so we don't need a whole bunch of space. So in that time when there's only 3 of us, we don't eat nearly as much as we would if it was 7 of us. And the group of 7 isn't here year round. So while we're here, just the 3 of us, growing and harvesting and preserving all the food that we're creating here, all that excess will help carry us over when all the family's here. So good news is, since we do have so much land here, if after all said and done with the food production systems here, if we still need more, if we're not able to cut our food bill down severely to where we don't have to go to the grocery store nearly as much, I can always expand. I mean, I've got almost 50 acres, like I said, and right now we're using less than 1 acre. So do you need a big piece of property to homestead properly to be able to feed your families? The answer is no. As a matter of fact, my land that I had in San Diego County was 8 acres, and we produce like 80%, I want to say, of all of our food, all of our meat, all of our veggies, and all of our fruit, because we had so much abundance. You guys, if you've never had a garden before, you can't really comprehend how much, if you do it right, how much produce you can create. You have no idea. You get so much, overwhelmed. We were throwing tomatoes and onions and grapes and everything to the pigs and chicken. We had so much, we were using it to feed our animals, which is a good thing because it supplements the feed costs. In that particular area, other than the garden scraps that we had to buy animal feed, just like we do right now. So unless, the 8 acre ranch, and I would say we used maybe total with the buildings, and I had a really big shop. What was it? 40 by 60 shop, so a 2,400 square foot shop. I had the big 2,000 square foot house. I had the water pump room, different sheds. I had a exterior office. And all total, we used maybe 1/3 of that 8 acres. Probably not even that. Guys. Probably maybe 15%, 20% tops. So maybe, a third or a quarter. We didn't use much, but on the flip side of that, we had large animals, cows and horses. So they need a big area. So I'm counting that in as well. Barely 1/3 of the property, even with the pasture. And we had so much space left over that, we can always grow, you can always expand. But, going back to the initial question, do you need a large 100, 200 acres to create a self-sustaining homestead? My opinion, and you guys may disagree, my opinion is absolutely not. 1, 2 acres, 5 acres, you're swimming in land if you have 5 acres. So if you're out contemplating living like this, off-grid, rurally, homesteading without the convenience of a nearby city, don't reject the idea of homesteading just because you think you need hundreds of acres. You don't. Man, if I had just 5 acres, I could easily make it happen. We did it on 8, and it was huge growing areas, and it was just too much. So I say between if I got a comfortable situation, it'd be between 2 and 5 acres. You know, you could do it on one, but it's always nice to have a little bit of space, right? You gotta have some place to shoot the guns. So that's my opinion, guys. Put your ideas down in the comments box. Tell me what you think as far as how much space you need in order to grow enough food, create enough food for just a regular sized family. So, like I said, ours varies between 3 and 7. So, at least I didn't say 6, 7, right? Still don't know what that means, but the kids keep saying it. So, if you guys got any questions about this, or if you're new here and you're contemplating moving off grid, or this subject matter interests you, please consider subscribing. Do that thumbs up thing and the bell thing. By the way, has anyone guessed what I'm doing with this? So, we got bigger holes on top, and throughout the bucket here, I'm going to put these smaller holes, what is this, half inch? Half inch, we're going to put smaller holes here. Who can guess what this bucket's going to be used for? Put it down in the comments box, and whoever guesses it is going to win some major bragging rights and a shout out here on the channel on the next video. And until then, guys, prep and thrive. We'll see you on the next one.